You're watching Let's Chat.
You've heard our friends from Warren and Griffin talk about this being the 100 deadliest days of summer, and with good reason. Thatcher Smith is here to talk a little bit more about that and what to remember if you should get caught in a wreck. Good to see you, first of all. The 100 deadliest days of summer. Explain exactly what these are.
Well, first, good morning. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all this morning.
Glad to have you.
It's always a good time. So, the 100 deadliest days of summer, it starts when summer starts and ends pretty much around Labor Day. It's the time when minors and inexperienced drivers are out on the road. Distractions are abundant, you know, other drivers on the road not paying attention and you're not paying attention, people in your car, the radio up too loud, all those sorts of things just lead to a culmination of factors that makes it more dangerous for people to be on the road. And
youngsters up to a certain age are 3 times more likely than you and I are to get into a wreck during these 100 deadliest days of summer. 3 times more likely.
3 times more likely, and that's why it's so important for parents to set a good example, talk to their kids about not texting and driving, not having the radio up to a distracting level, not having distracting passengers in the vehicle, making sure that you're paying attention to the roadway.
Hope you don't ever get in a wreck, you or your kids, but if you are involved in an accident, particularly one that's more than just a quick fender bender, there are 5 things that you are supposed to do. Name them for me and tell me the importance.
Yes, sir. So really there's multitude of things to remember when you've been in a car accident, but you always want to have an action plan whenever you are for any sort of circumstance that you could face. You always want to have an action plan. So the first thing that you want to do is call 911. Make sure that you get the authorities to the scene. Number 2 is you want to make sure, if possible, and if safe to do so, check on the other driver. The world's a better place when we're looking out for each other, so you want to check on the other driver and make sure that they're okay. That's not always practical, though. You know, if you're in the middle of 153 or if you're in the middle of I-75, it might not be safe to get out and check with the other driver and make sure that everything's okay with them. But certainly, if safe to do so and practicable, you want to get out and check on the other driver.
Let's back up a moment to the calling 911. You know, recently the Chattanooga police said they're not going to be responding to every fender bender that we have now. Should we make that 911 call regardless, just to have it on the record?
You should. Number 1, to have it on the record, like you said, but number 2, the police officers are then going to make the decision as to whether or not they're going to come out. And if it's a situation where somebody's injured, or if there's a potential for an altercation or significant property damage, those sorts of things, the police are still going to come. So go ahead and make that call, get it on the record, and try and get the police to the scene as soon as possible.
All right, and then you said the second, make sure that you and your passengers are okay.
Yes, sir.
Practical, make sure the other occupants of the vehicle are okay.
Number 3 is then take pictures of everything. You want to document the scene, you want to document your vehicle, their vehicle, take pictures of the insurance cards, take pictures of driver's license, and this kind of goes back to what you alluded to a moment ago. If the police don't come, you want to make sure that you've done a good job documenting the scene.
What if the other driver cops an attitude about you taking pictures of them and their vehicle?
That's certainly one of the things that you want to have the police there for. So if there's any potential for altercation with the other driver, call the police, let them know what's going on, or let the police know when they get there the situation and that it's not going smoothly.
Sure, because you know people's attitudes can change when they see a blue light coming up on a car wreck.
Yes, certainly, certainly.
All right, what is number 4?
Number 4 is to make sure, if you feel like you need it, to get yourself checked out. We as a society, I feel like, kind of have this idea of, I'm going to get better. You know, no need to go get checked out by the doctor. Time's going to be my friend. And that's not always the case. Whether it be having, you know, adrenaline running through your system, or maybe inflammation hasn't set in, a lot of time people get injured, but they don't realize they're injured until after the fact.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you get checked out. If there is any kind of structural deficiency, you want to make sure that that medical providers get you a plan of action to get yourself better.
And of course, make sure and call the 5-star law firm if you were involved in an altercation. Thatcher, good to see you as always. Make sure and find out the best from the best. Warren and Griffin, the website warrenandgriffin.com, warrenandgriffin.com.